budget guitars I've reviewed on this channel, there has been one request that keeps popping up that I have yet to get to. Well, today we are going to remedy that situation because I'm going to finally look at a Firefly, a guitar that a lot of you have dubbed the Epiphone Killer due to its impressive feature set and relatively low price for a Les Paul style guitar. But just like with Candyman, you need to be careful about evoking the forbidden name of the guitar god since they are the litigious type. That means they'll sue you. Sorry for the big words. And when you're making Les Paul clones specifically, you should also be careful not to make them too authentic. What's up everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Taylor, and yes, unfortunately, while I was preparing for this video, I dropped the Firefly. I wouldn't say I actually dropped it, it's more like I knocked it over. It was sitting on a stand and it fell face down against my fake wood floors that I have in here. And that was enough to crack the headstock. So let's turn lemons into bitter lemon water and see if we can fix this guitar. Spoilers, if you're watching this video, then it worked. And for transparency, I bought this guitar. Firefly has nothing to do with this video. I actually bought this guitar used. Did you know Sweetwater has a used section? I didn't. This is a Firefly FFSP classic guitar. It has a mahogany body with a set mahogany neck that features a rosewood fretboard, 22 stainless steel ball end frets, an alleged bone nut. It doesn't really feel like a bone nut to me. It feels like plastic, but it says bone nut, so we'll just go with that. This particular model features a white gloss finish. Now there's no particular information on scale length. I'm gonna call this a 24 3/4 inch guitar. That's what it seems like to me. We have two humbuckers, no information on what these pickups are, but you'll hear them pretty soon so you can be the judge on whether they're good or not. A tunematic style bridge, two volume knobs, two tone knobs, and a three-way pickup selector. And I know a lot of you that are watching these videos are always looking for good price to performance gear, which is why this video is brought to you by Sweetwater and Samson. Miking up a guitar cab or any musical instrument, even if it's your vocalist's throat, that sounds dirty. Can we do that again? I'm a big fan of throwing a microphone on a guitar cabinet. I have an extensive collection of microphones, but they can be really expensive. That's where Samson comes in. Samson offers professional quality microphones that won't absolutely destroy your wallet like it was wet newspaper. They sent me their C01 microphone, which is a large diaphragm condenser. It has a cardioid pickup pattern, a 19mm diaphragm, gold-plated XLR connector, heavy metal mesh grill, front-facing LED to let you know it's connected to phantom power, and it comes with a swivel stand mount. But the best thing is you can get one of these for less than $100, like way less. At the time of making this video, they're actually only $99 on Sweetwater. Funny enough, Samsons are the first microphones I ever used for recording, so I'm really looking forward to checking this one out today on a guitar cab to see how it performs. So thank you to Sweetwater and Samson for sponsoring today's video. You know the drill, use the link, be a cool dude or dudette. I really appreciate it. So back to the guitar. I bought this guitar a couple weeks ago now. I have been getting requests for this thing from a lot of people, but really like one dude keeps popping up in every video asking for the Firefly guitar. Can't remember the user tag right now. It's like a monkey for the icon. I can't remember the handle though. A lot of people have been singing these guitars' praises as a Les Paul sort of budget guitar. And you'll see why here. You'll see why here in a minute. You guys will see why here in a minute. Wow, very cool. Here we go. I didn't even remember what color it was. There you go. The strings are just floptastic. Okay, it definitely needs a setup. I was really surprised though. I just tuned it, you know, by ear. So whatever. But you know, I just tuned it and these tuners feel so nice and fluid. Even if it was a premium guitar, these tuners would be very nice. Probably getting hung up on a detail no one cares about, but the tuners do feel very good. You know, so far everything feels really, really solid. I gotta plug it in, I gotta set it up, I gotta spend some time with it before I can give you my thoughts and opinions on it, but you know, my first impressions are pretty impressed. Oh, hey there. I have a little bit of a problem here. I'm supposed to be making this video with this Firefly guitar today, and I dropped it. And this happened. Just straight up crack city. And you know, I didn't drop this very hard. I mean, it fell from a standing position on the floor, face down on the headstock, and you know, it wasn't even like a loud impact. It's a very, very minor impact. I think the move here, hopefully I can salvage this video. I think the move here, I'm gonna take these tuning pegs off. Now, obviously, like, loosen the strings. Well, I need to restring it anyway. So I'm gonna take the strings off, take these tuning pegs off, and then check this out. This is like not an original idea, I'm sure. I probably saw this somewhere and that's how I got this idea. But I got this little syringe and I put wood glue into it. And that's just so I can get the wood glue up in the crack. And so I'll just this in there, fill it with wood glue, and then clamp it down overnight. And hopefully I can finish shooting this video tomorrow. Wish me luck. Alright, I think now is probably a great time to tell you I have no idea what I'm doing, but hopefully this works out. So essentially what I did here is I used the needle to get the wood glue in this crack as much as humanly possible, and then I wiped the excess away, and then I'm just using this clamp to tighten everything down. It's pretty tight. It's a little bit tricky where the crack is to get it to tighten down because, you know, I almost need to flex the head this way to get it to do it, but I think I got it. I did put the screws back in right here just so that they wouldn't fill with wood glue, like the holes wouldn't fill with wood glue. So we're just gonna let that dry for like the next 24, I don't think it takes that long. What does this say? This is the wood glue I'm using. I don't know that it matters, but ultimate wood glue. We'll see. Rated #1 by the pros. So we'll let this dry for 24 hours. We'll see if that holds up, and then we'll put it back together and get new strings on it and set it up. Okay, it has been 24 hours here. Let's check this thing out. Alright, it looks like it actually worked. If you've done guitar repair, you're probably watching this and like, yeah, it worked, you fucking idiot. That's how you do shit. I don't know. I've never done this before. I've never fixed a cracked headstock. There's like no bend in it at all now. So, despite there being a crack there, I cannot actually flex the headstock and open it up at all. So it should be good to set up. Let's do that. Alright, so a few things before I get this fretboard all lubed up. Sounds kinky, but you know what I mean. A few things real quick. At first I thought maybe this happened when the guitar fell and the headstock broke, but no. That is actually a knot. I don't know if I've ever seen a knot in the fretboard before. Maybe I have. Maybe this is not uncommon and I've just been oblivious to it, but I just thought that was really weird. It caught my attention like right away. Like, there's a knot right there. So interesting. The fretwork on this guitar is very nice, actually. If you look, we have rounded fret edges here, so everything is just super smooth and nice. And I believe these are stainless steel frets. I'm not 100% on that. I will do a spec read in this video if I haven't already. Really, really nice fretwork for a guitar that's this inexpensive. The fretboard definitely needs to be cleaned off. You can see that, though. I mean, you know, this is a used guitar, so what do you expect? Really surprised with how well this glued back together. I mean, you can still see the crack there, but, you know, it is tight. I could not get it to flex and open back up. So I did notice this. This probably happened when the guitar fell over. It's just like a little ding right here. You know, all in all, so far, it's a pretty cool guitar. This is definitely not my thing, not my style of guitar, but I think it's kind of cool to have one around, you know? All right, let's get back to it. Okay, so everything is set up here for the most part. Let's just cover a couple things here and then we'll plug it in. Everything's set up really well. I didn't really come across any issues while setting this guitar up. The tuners are so smooth. These are some of the smoothest tuning pegs that I have ever encountered. I had to set this up in C standard because I only had one pack of strings on hand, actually. I need to buy some new strings. And it was these ones. And I haven't even used these strings for C standard in a really long time, so we'll see how that goes. But so far, everything seems fine. It's holding tuning, intonated pretty easily. I could adjust the neck a little bit. The neck is a little on the straight side, so I might get some buzzing on this, but I think it's going to be okay. I don't think it's really worth taking this thing off and adjusting the neck because, I mean, we're talking about such a minute difference here. But, yeah, other than that, like, I think it's good to go. I think we just need to plug it in and rock out. What's up, fam? I have this Firefly, Les Paul style Firefly. It's a Firefly classic. I don't know much about these guitars. I apologize. You guys have been asking me for these things forever, dude. I feel like I've been kind of sleeping on this a little bit. I feel like I might owe you a little bit of an apology. Sorry about that. We are plugged into this Marshall Origin 50. I know. Let me explain. Everyone always wants to see the budget guitar through the Katana because it's a budget style amplifier. I totally sympathize with that. I get it. But it's so boring to make videos with the Katana all the time. And the way I'm justifying this to myself is this is like the most budget Marshall amplifier You know what I mean? You can find these on the used market for like 350 bucks. We have a Les Paul style guitar. We have a Marshall style amplifier. I'm boosting that with the Devil by my company, Obsidian Audio. We have the Chug tuner in front of that to tune up. You know, make sure we're in tune. And of course, like I mentioned earlier in this video, that is going into my Mesa Boogie cabinet. We are miking that up with the Samson C01 microphone. And if you see any weird continuity errors in this video, that's because I recorded this whole video with like my normal setup and microphone, and then I forgot that I said I was gonna record with the C01 microphone, so I went back and shot all the playing parts with the C01 microphone. All right, shout out to Sweetwater. Oh, fuck. I recorded this whole video with a different microphone. I'm so stupid. Oh my God, dude. It's fine, it's fine. It'll work out, but yeah, that's why. I'm set up in C standard. I explained this earlier, but this guitar is set up in C standard. It's really nice to play. It feels really good. Now, I might not be the world's most authoritative expert. I'm not any kind of expert. I'm like a total noob when it comes to Les Paul style guitars. So to those of you that really wanted to see my take on this guitar, I apologize. I mean, hopefully you understand that, but I think it plays really nice. It feels really, you know, the whole vibe right now is nice. You know, I'm getting some like big rock and roll vibes right now. This is actually a lot of fun. Let's turn the boost pedal off here. That's what the amp sounds like without a boost. I should also explain, because there's probably a number of you that aren't familiar with Marshall origins and you're like, what the fuck? Why is the volume so high and why does it sound like that? To get these amps to like really break up and sound like crunchy, you need to crank the master volume. The only way to do that without totally destroying your ear holes is to attenuate it. So I actually have a load box plugged into this, and I'm going out of the -20 dB attenuation into the speaker cab. So it's attenuating the volume down by 20 decibels, which is how I'm able to have it up so loud and sit next to it at the same time. But yeah, by doing that, we get that nice like crunchy break. Go back to this. You know, I feel like if I'm gonna demo a Les Paul style guitar of any type, this is probably the amp to do it with, and especially if it's a budget guitar, and you guys like to see budget guitars through budget amps, I totally understand that. This is like the cheapest Marshall to do it with, you know? I feel like it worked out a little bit. Maybe? We'll bring the katana back next time, but yeah, I just had to rock. Pretty rock and roll, man. Let's get a clean tone out of this guy. That's probably about as clean as we're gonna get it. Middle position. Where's the pickup selector here? Jesus Christ. Neck position. Outer tune. And this has always been my experience with these types of bridges, but anytime I do like bend, and I bend a lot when I play guitar. It's just like I don't mean to, it's my style, I guess. It's like inherent in my guitar playing. I bend a lot, and I've always noticed that when I bend on these style of bridges, like these tune-o-matic bridges, they go out of tune pretty easily. And before you try to tell me how to set up a guitar in the comments, yes, I stretch the strings. I don't know if you saw that, because it was sped up, but I did. It's like the whole reason behind that meme with like the G string going out of tune. Yeah, probably because most people bend on the G string, you know? Okay, back to the chugs. You know, it sounds really nice. Again, me not being like a Les Paul guy, I don't know how that compares to an actual Les Paul or Epiphone guitar, but you get the idea, right? Now, in terms of its playability and its function, you know, the last time I actually played a Gibson style, it's been a while now, but the last time I played a Gibson guitar, I remember it being really like chunky. This actually feels a little bit lighter to me than like your traditional Gibson guitar. I remember the Gibson being like really heavy on the back end here. Maybe if you're a Les Paul guy, you can tell me if I'm crazy or something, but I remember it being really heavy on the back end. This feels very well balanced. The neck also feels significantly slimmer to me than the last Gibson that I played. I just remember like the last Gibson, you know, just had a very chunky neck, a lot to grab onto. This one is pretty slim. It's not, I wouldn't call it like a slim C, but it's pretty much a C-shaped neck. What am I doing? Let's boost this thing again, yeah? Why would we not boost this thing? The tuners are some of the most fluid tuners I've ever felt in my whole life. And tuners feels like a really boring thing to talk about, but I mean, it's like very noticeable. You know, when I was tuning up this guitar, I was just like, wow, it's very smooth. This feels like very silky. Everything here feels very quality, especially for the price. I think I paid like $200 for this used or something like that. Maybe a little bit less. You know, you can find them on the used market for like super cheap, but I mean, you know, for what it is, it's like, I get why you guys wanted me to review this guitar now. Everyone was telling me like, oh, you gotta try the Fireflies. You gotta try Firefly. Now that this thing has a cracked headstock, it kind of feels like mine forever. Now that this thing has the cracked headstock, it's repaired, it's good, it's holding up. Maybe I'll gift it to someone. I don't know, we'll see. The fretwork is very good on this. I did try out a guitar a while back. You guys may have saw this. Oh, so second problem here that we're having is, remember what I said about the fretwork being very good? Well, the actual frets themselves are good, but if you saw, my string just got pinched underneath one of them because these frets aren't actually like set in the neck very well. There are several very similar guitar, probably from the same manufacturer, although it is under a different brand. There's a lot of similarities with these guitars, and the string kept catching underneath the fret like they were stainless steel frets. They're rounded just like these, and the strings kept catching. I'm not having that problem on this guitar, but there is a couple frets where I can almost get my fingernail underneath it. They're kind of high a little bit. Is it a big deal? No. I mean, especially not on this guitar. Like on the other guitar, it was a big deal. It was unplayable because the frets kept catching the strings. But on this one, it's not so bad. The other thing, and this might be in my mind, I don't know, I have to look up the specs and compare to see if this is just delusion or not, but it feels like the string spacing is closer on this guitar. Than what I'm used to. So it is like giving me a little bit of trouble to play, but maybe that's a good thing for you. I mean, I do have small hands. You know, if you're in the small hand gang, maybe that's a plus for you. Shit, we're out of tune. Yeah, man, this is a super solid guitar. I totally get why everyone has been hounding me to try one of these guitars out. I get it, it's very cool. It's got the vibe. It does the thing, you know? Like, it's checking some boxes for me. However, again, like I said, you know, I'm just more of like a porty guitar super strat kind of guy. It is what it is. But I think it's cool. I think, like I said, because of the crack in the headstock, that I'll be hanging on to this one for a while. So it'll be here. Maybe I'll hang it up over there or something. You'll see it in the background of the videos. Yeah. All right, shout out to Sweetwater for sponsoring this video. Shout out to you for being here with me. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button. If you like what I do here on the channel, consider subscribing or joining us over on Patreon, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.